Hi there, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Millennium TV. My name is Ruben Mwanza. We are live on our Topstar channel 95, and we're also live on our Facebook page, which is Millennium TV Zambia. You can find that and follow the program on that platform. We are also live on Daily Nation Facebook page, and this is Millennium Tonight. It's a Monday. We are back with another interesting topic of discussion. Now, in case you don't know, there was a committee that was appointed by the president to obviously collect the submissions in relation to the Bill 7, and of course in relation to consultations, public consultations, and obviously this is in line to the deferred Bill 7 that needed further consultation for it to be amended. And tonight we'll be talking about that and many other issues that are of national interest. We'll also give you a chance to come through live on TV so you can be part of the program, and the number will be shared with you on the screen. I am joined by Honorable Greyford Monde. Good evening, sir.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Ruben. Good evening, viewers out there. And the season is catching up. Soon we'll be having rains, and I pray that Zambians are preparing for this rain season that is coming for a good harvest. So thank you.
Great. Good to have you on the program. Let's first start by talking about the appointed committee on Bill 7. First of all, what do you make of this new development?
Very well. So in my view, first of all, there are a lot of matters that are around this matter of the Constitution. The introduction of this Bill 7, I think, has been more suspicious to Zambian citizens, and a matter of this magnitude, a matter of amending a constitution of a country, I think needed a lot of submissions from stakeholders. First of all, even just an idea or a thought to amend the constitution, there must be serious concerns or reasons why that the constitution is supposed to be amended. And you heard that from the start, how this matter came. It came like it's just a rumor. We heard how this minister says there's no constitution that is going to be amended. You heard the president say there will be no constitution to be amended, and so on. But eventually we saw that the bill was already prepared and it came to parliament. And the entire country rose and they said, look, this is not the procedure. I mean, Zambia has seen how constitutions have been amended in the past, from time immemorial, and there is a long list of how citizens of this country have been subjected to a process of constitution amendments. This particular one is so suspicious that everyone was just shocked that a bill is being introduced, which they called Bill 7. Critically, when you look at that bill brings a lot of questions. This bill is actually going to turn almost the entire process in terms of how, for example, people are going to be elected into these positions, beginning with the president himself. They're changing the bill to that one of a popular list, okay, so that a party that gets a lot of seats or MPs is the one that is, then the president will be chosen from parliament and so on. These are some of the new things that needed serious engagement. And to bring a bill already with a specific areas of amendments, and then that's when you are introducing a committee, it's actually the reverse. The process is supposed to start with the committee. And this committee is supposed to go around the country to get views of the citizens, to find out what in the constitution needs amendments. So once that list has been put together through submissions of Zambian people, then that is what is going to be considered as a draft constitution or bill that is supposed to be presented. Even at that stage, there's another process at parliament where people are going to submit to a committee that is going to be set up by Honorable Mr. Speaker for submissions. Then finally it's supposed to come to the floor. What is happening right now is a reverse of everything. It's a reverse of the whole process. Zambians, the question the country should have asked was, are there concerns that Zambian people are complaining about. I'll give you an example of 2016 amendments that happened. At that time, everyone in this country, for years in the past, they've always cried that Zambia needs a running mate, unlike having a president or vice president appointed by a president. And that people submitted why there was need for ensuring that we have a running mate who is never going to be fired by this president. And in case anything happens, this running mate is going to be the eventual president up to the end of that term. So that was going to stop wastage in terms of our resources, because in this country, unfortunately, we've had so far 2 sitting presidents dying in the seat. Okay, late President Mwanawasa, when he died, late President Rupia Banda had to go through an election. When late President Michael Sata died, again we had to go for a presidential by-election, and this is what the country was trying to run away from. So when President Lungu, again late President Lungu, became president in 2015, to be specific, in January, he quickly adopted the amendments which were done by the Constitution Amendment Committee that was widely consultative. And the matters that were very critical that needed amendment in that period before the 2016 elections were that, one, we needed to get to a point where there must be a running mate. And that was not a small amendment. You can imagine that many presidents in the past, in fact, it was very clear that there will be no president who is going to accept to amend the constitution and put up a running mate who he has no power to fire. Okay? But there the issue was to avoid wastage in terms of just in case we have another president dying in the seat. So that was a very critical one. The other matter that the country has been talking about for a long time before 2016 was the election date. Before, it used to be presidents choosing a day of their convenience. So you've been an election year, you don't even know when the elections will happen.
Right.
So the president will have to wait until when it's convenient for them, then they can say December 27th. Now, 27th December, and we've seen elections happening in the country, December 27th. Now, December 27th is in the middle of the rain season, and elections have happened. That used to disadvantage, for example, opposing political parties, even just allowing people to freely campaign. So that was one of the things. The other part that the Zambian people talked about before 2016 was the fact that 50+1 should be a must for us to get a president who is going to govern this country, unlike the simple majority. So we used to have presidents, for example, winning elections with 29% of the vote. And you go to a record, you're going to find that.
So are you simply saying, you know, those amendments that were done in 2016 were meaningful compared to the ones in Bill 7?
What I'm saying is that the Zambian people, they themselves made those submissions. It was very clear. Now, if you go to check the amendments that this government is trying to propose, which assembly, which group of Zambian people submitted that they want, for example, they don't want the 50+1 or Zambians voting for a president, or which of the Zambian people said the amendments which are there should be done? So there's no group of people that ever said in this country that we are gathering here and our issue is that we want the following to be amendments in the constitution. There's none. And this is the reason why you can even see that this government now has gone ahead now to appoint a commission that is going to go around to get the views of the people. So you can see that that is climbing a tree from the leaves. From the top. Yeah, and you can't do that. The owners of the constitution, the Zambian people, have a right, first of all, to say the following articles are not sitting comfortable with us, and we feel these must be amended. And when that call comes, then government is supposed to start a process of now appointing a constitutional committee, like the one that they've appointed. So this committee is going to go around the country to take the submissions from the people. So those submissions are the ones that are going to be drafted And the draft is what is going to be now amended in our constitution. But you can see the reverse. But I can assure you that the Zambian people are also watching. And the Zambian people critically have been watching how this government has been managing, first of all, not just the resources, but even just the governance system of this country. And for me, I can tell you that the decision of this government to, even when the courts have guided, for them to defy, you remember that they said it was deferred. But that just the following day, you saw the ruling from the court, where they said, they guided that the following must happen in order for you to amend the constitution. Wider consultations, Zambians must be given an opportunity to make their submissions, and so on and so forth. But this government, you saw how that people questioned the reintroduction of this bill in Parliament by the Speaker of Parliament. These are worrying things in this country. And that is a true lack of governance system, breakdown in governance system. As you can clearly see, that it's the executive that is exerting pressure in all the other wings of government, the judiciary and the legislature. This is not right for our country. And even when you look at the constitution of this committee that has been put, first of all, you look at that list, you actually see that it's a group of people that have always supported the UPND.
So how would you rate the legitimacy of this, commission?
No, look, everything is wrong. I've already stated here that the problem that we have now is that you want to start climbing a tree from the top until the right thing is done. That bill is supposed to be withdrawn from Parliament. You can't have a bill in Parliament and you have a committee chosen to go and get or to put together. What are they putting together? A bill that they've already presented to government. So you can see the reverse. But I mean, all of these things I can tell you, that is a result of desperation. Anytime you are dealing with a matter, go to the root cause. What is it that UPND cannot wait to do in order for them to do the correct thing? Against all of this is the time that is ticking. Okay? And by all means possible and necessary and forcefully so, this government wants to ensure that they amend this constitution, because through it, they think that they can be able to have the numbers and win the next election.
So among the clauses that have been earmarked for amendment, is there any clause that you feel really needs amendment?
So many. No, there's no clause that needs amendment. Currently, I can tell you that, in fact, the clauses that they've presented, all of them are comfortable with. Zambians are comfortable with them. Zambians have always cried for a 50+1, which is in that constitution. And that 50+1 is a high level of a standard in terms of democracy. You cannot even lie or cheat anyone. If you get 50+1, that's a standard. Why would you want to change from 50+1, the 50+1 which made HH, president of UPND, win the election? Why does he want to run away from that 50+1? Clearly, I can tell you that he has lost popularity. He knows he can't garner 50+1. Okay. And I want to assure you that this is one of the reasons why he wants to push by all means that 50+1 is taken out of that constitution, and that he allows or defranchises the people to get that proposal is trying to put, whereas Parliament, through members of Parliament. Now, when you look at that, he is also trying to propose delimitations. Now, if you are going to delimitate, let Zambians know which areas are you going to delimitate, for example.
Is it wrong to delimitate some constituencies?
No. There's nothing wrong with delimitating constituencies. But the point I'm telling you is that you read it like this. The man is running away from having a 50+1 a popular vote for you to be president.
Right.
He wants to put members of Parliament to be the ones to choose him as a president. So if he's going to delimitate, most likely he wants to create an electoral college for him. Look at even the number of nominations that he's proposing. More than 40. Okay? I was just reading that thing from the surface, but you can easily pick out that the man is trying to constitute a high number of members of Parliament, preferably in his stronghold. Because what guarantee do we have that the members that are going to be appointed, members of Parliament, the constituencies that are going to be delimited, that these are not in his stronghold? So he wants to increase number of members of parliament, so that when he does that, those same members of parliament is going to create will be the ones to vote for him in parliament. Okay. I want to say that Zambian people are very happy with 50+1. But like I was saying earlier, the root cause of all of this problem and the desperation by the UPND to ensure that they amend the constitution is they want to increase their stay in power, even when they've lost ground. And they have tried so much. This probably will be their last nail to ensure that they manipulate the system. Look, it all started by constitution of cadres into the Electoral Commission of Zambia. And the list is there. And we all know the members of the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Those members are all UPND subscribed cadres. That's what they are. These are former members. And I can assure you that this is the first time in this country we are having such a level of a selection of members of the Electoral Commission of Zambia.
Now, just on that, Honorable Monde, how does that affect, having cadres in an institution like ECZ, an electoral institution? How does that affect their credibility?
No, my brother, the Electoral Commission of Zambia is the referee of an election. Now, you can imagine, yes, they may say, no, we were, but we are no longer. But the fact that these are cadres, for me, that takes out. You can't get people that are subscribed, people that were running in elections in 2021 on the UPND ticket, and are the ones you are taking to be the ones to run, to pretend and monitor and direct elections of a country. That is biased. But even that, as it were the case, it started with UPND. Let me give you the sequence. UPND started with intimidating Zambians, the opposition included, that the police, the defense forces were unleashed on Zambians. Forget about politicians, not even politicians only. Even you, the media, were attacked by the UPND to make sure that they stop anyone from speaking. That didn't work because in the era we are in now, unfortunately, you don't even need, for example, they stopped all political parties from having rallies. We are very few months away from an election. Okay? Up to now, letters have been written to the police to just inform them that we are going to be having a rally. The answer is refer to the last letter we gave you. We have not enough security to man. But when the members of the opposition defy and they've gone to any meeting, they found a lot of police to seal out. So the intention was to black out the opposition so that the opposition doesn't have an opportunity for them to reach out and call out the wrongs. Because when we have a rally, what we'll be talking at a rally is our manifesto as opposition, that when you give us power, we'll do X, Y, Z. Over this matter, we'll do it in such a fashion, and so people will hear us. But when you stop and black out the opposition, you are actually trying to think that you are the only one who's speaking. But today, with technology, just this presentation I'm having now, if you're going to check, by the time we'll be done here, thousands of people will be listening to me. So that didn't work for the UPND.
Okay.
Using force on the Zambian citizens hasn't worked. Okay? Applying or employing cadres at ECZ hasn't worked. Now their last nail is to make sure that they change the constitution to get delimited MPs that are going to expand and increase to come and vote for them so that they can be able to retain power. So
they can have multiple
numbers. They can have multiple numbers for them to be voted.
Okay.
If the intention is to delimitate, let them delimitate. But let them not touch the part of a citizen wanting to vote for his president, preferred president. And there is a clause there, 50+1. That is enough basis for you to win. But because these have not delivered, they will do anything they want. If UPND was as popular, they would never have wanted to struggle to ensure that they bring Bill 7.
Okay. Now, given the PF's previous, governance record, including constitutional amendments, you talked of one of them in 2016, and obviously, how does the party justify its current, criticisms, if any, of the Bill 7?
Okay. So look, the point here is that, like I've stated, any process, especially when you want to touch a sacred document, which is the Constitution, that document is the existence of our country. When we say we are Zambians, we are all governed by that Constitution. That Constitution is the reason we have constitutional officers, such as even this establishment, the executive, the president, is through the Constitution. The judiciary, the Chief Justice, is a Constitution established. The Speaker, which is the legislature, the Speaker, is the Constitution established. And all of these constitutional officers, and in the manner that we run, without a constitution, there's no Zambia. Now, if you want to touch that document, there must be a bit of decency. Let this government know that at this moment, first of all, there is no panic whatsoever. The critical clauses that needed the amendments were those ones which were done in 2016. And I've just outlined them here. Yes, there were other creation of commissions and so on and so forth. But critically, you remember the civil societies in 2016 were saying, no running mate, no vote. No election date, no vote. No 50+1, no vote. Those were some of the critical, contentious issues that the Zambian people had to deal with. Just 5 years, one election in between. You were voted by 50+1. You want to reject 50+1. You want to expand, create more constituencies, and get those MPs you are going to make, and make them become your electoral college. You want a Zambia not to vote for the president that he wants. What type of doing things is that? Okay? But I can assure you, like I'm saying, the root cause of all of this problem is a failure to deliver services. Had the UPND delivered the services they promised the Zambian people, the constitution would never have been touched. But now they are so engrossed in this, and I can assure you they will do anything. I want to call upon the Zambian people, the church, and I'm very happy with the church. The church, the Catholic Church, issued serious fires on this government, exposed this government on their hypocrisy. These are the people who went to argue and fight over Bill 10. Today, when you look at the review of what they're trying to do, it's almost like Bill 10. But I want to say that any government that actually wants to manipulate the Zambian people have always found a way to maneuver around. But unfortunately, this government is even more arrogant, that even when a bill has been stopped by the courts, they've still gone ahead to want to amend it. Now, whether the UPND will proceed to amend the constitution in their own way that they want, I want to say to them that they will never stop the Zambian people from kicking them out. Even if they're going to expand constituencies, they will never get those members of parliament. Because I can tell you countrywide now, where is UPND popular? Nowhere. Who is happy with this government? None. Look at the performance of this government. Is it anything inspiring to the Zambian people, given the promises that they gave the Zambian people? The answer is no. And I can tell you, it will happen. We have seen governments put up electoral commissions, and those electoral commissions have announced the presidents who appointed them losers.
Okay.
Not long ago in Malawi, so what happened?
Yeah. Just on that, maybe let's focus so much on the central, rather the technical committee that has been created in relation to Bill 7. Do you believe that the criteria used to come up with this commission wasn't legitimate? And also, are you expecting this committee to perform its duties independently?
No, for me, when I look at that committee, first of all, from just a read through, you can clearly see that a lot of people on that list, first of all, go and check their comments. A lot of people on that list, many of them are actually pro-UPND. Now, that's not how you amend the constitution. In a constitution making process, you actually need everyone on board. Look at the churches that have been invited to that commission. Okay? Did those church leaders, did they get a mandate of their churches? Okay? So this is what is supposed to be critically looked at. Okay? So there are some churches there that have been represented. You recall that the last, I remember of the NCC. If you look at the NCC, the one that MMD was trying to do to amend that constitution, which failed, there was a criteria to which names were going to be derived at. Civil society, 3 names. Universities, maybe state universities or public universities, maybe 5 names. Churches, mother bodies. How many do we have? So much. Students, so much. Okay? There was a list. Youths, so much. This one, it was a composition only known to the appointing authority. And the one that appointed them is President Hakainde Hichilema. Just went and appointed the people that he wants. There was even no due process to get organization or institutions to vote in the members that they wanted to vote in.
So what process do you feel should have been used in?
So if they were good to do this, first of all, is one, they must first drop the bill.
Okay.
Okay? Drop the bill, but there's nothing.
Okay.
When there is nothing, now they appoint a commission. Okay? They can say, oh, we've received the people saying. So now let's start the process. Appoint a commission. And that commission is the one that is going to go around the country to get submissions from the people. When they get the submission from the people, they create a draft. They create a draft to the public. And then the public goes through and says, okay, yes, me I remember in Kabwe, I made this submission. Okay? If you look at the previous draft constitutions that have happened, you can literally go there and check. If you submitted that you want for a president, for example, to, as part of the nominations, that he must produce 1,000 people from each province, you find your draft submission, that this was submitted. Then the committee will scrutinize. What are the views of the people? Then come up with a small document which is supposed to go. But in this, what they've done is actually, like I've said, for avoidance of repeating myself, is that this whole process is a sham. This whole process is a sham. This whole process is just a way to for UPND to continue being in power. And the Zambian people are able to read through. They can already see. These are kicks of a dying horse. So you try by all means to bring things that will never work anyway. And that constitution will not go anywhere. It will fall. That constitution will fall. Because the Zambian people have rejected it.
Okay. So now, do you expect public, should I say, public hearings, and also just, the people knowing step by step the process that will be undertaken by this committee? Are you expecting that to be published almost, every now and then? Or maybe they'll do it in secrecy.
So like I've stated earlier, it's very clear that even this constitution, even the constitution of this committee is really just for public show. It's for a show of the public. Okay? And I can tell you this. And it's trying to fulfill fixture. Like the courts have said, there must be wider consultations. We have put a committee in place. This committee, I can assure you, first of all, if they were to do a thorough job, this committee, there's no way they can be able to amend this constitution before May next year. Because there must be a roadmap. What is the roadmap to this constitution making process? Every constitution making process has always had a roadmap.
So are you saying they don't have enough time to do that?
Where is the roadmap? You and me are just surprised. Today you wake up, the constitution, the bill is withdrawn. Tomorrow you hear, no, it will never come back to parliament. The next day before that you were hearing there will be no amendment to the constitution. The next day you are hearing Justice Minister Kasune is going round in a chopper, getting submit. How? How can a minister alone go around the country? No, she meets people. I'm taking submissions from the people. So everything is wrong about this process. And this is a people's document. Our existence as a country is in the constitution. And we can't allow that process. And this is why this will not go anywhere. The levels of desperation for this government now is becoming so worrying. It's becoming so worrying. Why are they skipping steps? They should have said, date this to this date, this will happen. That's a roadmap. From this date to this date, we're collecting raw information from people. And the committee is going to be sitting at such a place. Everyone come, put in your submissions. They'll move to another town. They'll move to another town. Eventually, they've got a big document, which is what they'll just collect. From there, begin to reduce it to something small and readable. to do that process, to reach that stage, to get to Parliament, to get the bills being, it's a long process.
So in short, you're saying people's voices won't be heard in this process. It's just a formality, is it?
This is the UPND's voice. And the voice is very clear that the UPND want to prolong its stay in power without the people that voted them in power.
Okay.
UPND condemned, in fact, UPND dared the PF, thinking that they will never amend those critical clauses of the Constitution. They were very shocked that President Lungu, again may he so rest in peace, was magnanimous. Which president will stand up and say, for me to win, I will need 50 plus 1? Which president? And that clause has been coming from time immemorial. Many presidents avoided that. But the man put that in the Constitution. And it is that same clause which even took him out. Okay? Election date. It was a preserve of the president. Okay, in an election year, you all be waiting when, then just somehow around November, president just comes. The date shall be. That Zambians didn't want. So, but now, to bring these amendments, which we can see now, the bill that they're trying to bring, I mean, for me, this, it's nothing.
So if you were in power as the Patriotic Front, when would you have conducted this process? Is it in the last year of your term or at the beginning of your term?
No. At any given time, it's not really like any time you are going to have a government, then you, in fact, where we are now, all the critical areas of the Constitution that were a bit
contentious.
Yeah, the parts that were very ambiguous in the Constitution, the current Constitution, the 2016 Constitution, the ambiguous clauses, almost all of them have been interpreted by the Constitutional Court. Again, the Constitutional Court was a creation of the same Constitution.
So in short, the Constitution doesn't need any amendment.
No. It doesn't need any amendment.
But Honorable Monde, don't you think this Constitution that we're using now is a cake such that it needs to be amended?
So look,
overall.
So a good Constitution must stand the test of time.
Okay.
And this Constitution was only amended in 2016. Okay, that's about 10 years almost. So every 10 years you want to change your Constitution. What is it that is critical? What is that is pressing that needs to be changed in this Constitution? So the 2016 Constitution created the Constitutional Court. The purpose of the Constitutional Court is to interpret any clause in the Constitution now, so that your Constitution can stand the test of time. I'll tell you, for example, that I was a minister myself up to 2016, and I was a part of those ministers who stayed in office beyond dissolution of Parliament. And the Zambian citizens, including the UPND, took the matter to court. And we went to argue it out. And we lost that matter. Who interpreted that clause? The Constitutional Court. When did the Constitutional Court exist in our country? It existed at the amendment of the 2016 Constitution. So it's a buffer to make sure that in case there's a clause which is ambiguous in our Constitution, that clause can be interpreted by the Constitutional Court. That way you prolong the life of the Constitution. And now I can tell you that the articles and the amendments this government is trying to push are way, way too big for them to be amended in an election year. Okay? Because we're just few months from an election. We have about, to May, we have about 7 months before Parliament, government dissolves and Parliament prepares for the next election. So you can't desperately now want to introduce such a heavy magnitude of articles that are going to change. No. I mean,
so this is wrong time.
This is wrong. It's wrong time. Even the entire articles are wrong. Everything is completely wrong about this whole thing.
All right. Let's get to hear from the people out there. In case you would love to be part of the program, I'm sure you can see the number showing on your screen right now. You can call and we'll give you a chance to be part of it. Please stick to the topic. Like we always say, let's discuss what we are looking at. The appointed technical committee on Bill 7 is what we are discussing tonight. And we'll briefly also look at, the late payment of farmers that supplied their maize to FRA, considering the fact that Honorable Monde is a former agriculture minister. We'll touch on that one a little bit. But as for now, you can call in and be part of the program. The number is showing on your screen, and we'll give you about 2 minutes to contribute on the program as we go on with the show. Now, Honorable Monde, there's one thing that I want to find out from you in relation to the amendment of the Constitution. I heard you say it's the wrong time that the government has started doing this process. Do you feel they are focusing on wrong priorities, considering the fact that right now there's high cost of living, there's load shedding and many other challenges that the country is facing?
True. This is one of the things that Zambian people are wondering. In the midst of challenges that are faced by our people, you want to concentrate your efforts on talking about a constitution, which no Zambian has ever. I've never seen any one person come to a public television or even on social media where they say the problem we have is a constitution. For this government to start thinking that, 4, 5, 10 people, 80 chiefs, senior citizens or civil societies, none. Tell me, from 2021 to where we are today, which civil society matched, which civil society made t-shirts that they want a constitution changed?
All right, just hold your thought on that one. Let's get to hear from our callers. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you doing this evening?
Fine, thank you. How is Monde Mulishan?
Mkwae.
This is Mwinamwaume calling you from Kitwe.
Mwinamwaume, please go ahead. Give us your contribution.
Yes, my contribution to you, especially you, Mr. Monde. I think imwe wa politician nangu imwe wa PF. Please, especially PF. Ngata twika tene. Ifyo mulero ndolo ine nimfi umfani mfikonka bwino sana. And I'm one of PF. So nomba icho nsakamene kuri imwe ba Monde group. Ba Monde?
Mkwae.
Ikale ni panshi. Ba PF ikale ni panshi. Mupwishe problem nga mwasolve problem. Abene balichana di campaign. Mumu ikengera muna muku campaign. Abene balichita di campaign. Abene fye balichita di campaign. So ito tushere na chena. Ifwebo imwe na ifwe. Fwe bali background. Ukuikatana. Abashupili abene balichita di campaign. Look. Ina bill 7 mulela napo. Last week. Bamwitwa balandire fimbi. Same week. Ba president bale for bill 7 iwele. Same week. Same party. Then baisa kuri ifo ba PF twali pusana. Abene balande fyaps. Esa kuri ifo atinatu pusana. Ba Monde bwelele nimo. Ba given rubinda mulalanda bonse okumwamwe baba kumuru. Twafwe niko fofwe bali panshi. Imomo abako bwino. Fofwe bali panshi nifwe tulechula sana. Sana so fino ndi mumfifi. Amalaiti tatwa kwacha. Kumona menshi yatushupile kumo. Kuno kukitwe ndela. So ndela na tukapisa constituency. Ukufuma pano body ya pangile patifu na 1.5 million kwacha. Na polisi mpepi ya mapangile na 1.5 million kwacha. So ndela ndaka mwana wakobaji. Ngabalanda pachipendo chandala machile tinya abantu wachivale vnyendala meshingi. Wae otapaba ufo wale bomba. Ndela ndapamulando wa milimu. Ba Monde na wekisha pona kabiti. Mudala ikale ni panshi. Mfwane. Musange solution. Elo mutu welelele ifwe. Tatushupiye. Elo na wabantu omuleta likana na bena balipindi. Abene balichita fedi campaign. Please and please. Thank you. Bombeni wino mulelo ndolo lefile umfika sana kuchalo. Esami pale.
Well, thank you so much, Bamwila, for that call. We appreciate you coming through. Your response to that.
Very well. Thanks so much, Bamwila Mwaume, from Kitwe. Mkwai, if you're Mwalanda, Chishinka, and that is a message countrywide. Everywhere in this country now, you go on buses. If you want to know how unpopular that this UPND has become, get on a bus. It doesn't matter where, anywhere in this country, get on public transport and listen to the views of the people. Go to the markets. the core of Mr. Mwila is the core of Zambian people. And I can assure that it's because of, look, right now, in Kitwe there in Kafinsa, they don't have water. How will they have water if there's no power? Power is everything. There's no electricity. Load shedding is now become, oh my God. And you're still having a government wanting to continue to rule over the people.
All right, let's pick up another call. Sorry to cut you short. Let's pick up this call. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, thank you. Give us your name. Where are you calling us from? Please go ahead.
Hello?
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Nataka kuiba Monde abona. Ngibasalanda bamwila. Hello?
Emkwaiba get leo.
Ebyakiralanda bamwila. Ndaba kituma bakito kampinsa to. The only hope for abantu abakwete n'ebisya. Nomubawani okukulati bisya. Kabekate. Abasakabika abantu. Omwama UPN bali kwatakalali kabo.
Thank you so much for calling. Yes, you may proceed with your response.
So what I was saying is that a government that has failed to deliver services to the people, everything they promised on the list, everything critical thing that they promised on the list, nothing is holding up. This same government is still insisting to want to continue governing this country. What type of hypocrisy is that? What type of hypocrisy is that? So I completely agree with Mwila Maume. I completely agree with Vaje. And this is a core that we have as a PF. You know, the challenges of having a man that doesn't love competition. First of all, on that list of the things I said he was trying to do to make sure that he prolongs his stay, I said he wanted to use a security, a state security. He wanted to use institutions of government. He wanted, all of those have failed. He, on top of those things on that list, one thing he also wanted to use is to stop the PF by stealing the PF himself. And as we speak now, I can assure you that the PF now is in court, prolonged matters in court. Simple question. Did what happened at the conference, was that a conference or it was not a conference? One question. Every Zambian knows now that that was not a conference.
All right, let's get to hear from more people, Mr. Monde. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you, madam?
Fine, thank you. This is Rachel Antitembo calling from Monde district.
All right, please go ahead.
Good evening, Honorable Greyford Monde.
Good evening. Thank you so much, madam. How is Chivombo?
Chivombo is fine. Yeah, I just want to say a few things. Ine chamene ninga kulembisa enkontabde wa Greyford Monde osabulele kumbuyo pitilizani na mtima wamene muli nao 40 gwilizanano chipani tiyanganira kulimwe ero muone chena yangu wamene wamangiriwa wamene vichitika mziko wa Zambia muno gwilizanani ba opposition ngatuza gwilizana mwandi sibana mwamene tuzangalira tiyo pana kuyenda kuti nikakamba kuvaso vazanigwira nikachita kuvaso kapena vazani abduct maona ka so fakani nzeru pamozi pakuti next year come elections tikaone mwamene ngati kuchosa po UPND government twakepo tugazepo PF otherwise Monde three in trouble. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling. We appreciate your call. Now, Honorable Monde, from the callers that we've received, from the calls that have come through, one thing I've noted is that they're calling for unity in the PF. Are you divided as the PF?
No, well, look, as a PF, first of all, we've been hit left, right, center by this government. I was explaining here that, for example, they stole the PF from us. Even when we say that they stole, they only took a certificate, a license for PF. The membership of the PF is very strong. And I can assure you that outside just taking that, there's been a lot of arrests on our members. Zambians now, like the way our sister from Chibombo is just from saying, Zambians are living in total fear. There is so fear in this country, so much fear in this country, more than the fear that Zambians had in the years of UNIP under Kaunda.
Yes.
I can assure you, there are people that have lived during that time and are still living here now. There are people that supported the UPND that time that thought that PF is a dictator, a party. Today, those same people are confessing that this one is more lethal. You know, when they said that they were serious. You can see how much of our people have been arrested, imprisoned. This is the only government that has arrested and taken or nullified and imprisoned members of parliament than ever.
Okay.
You check your records. In UNIP's time, you never saw members of parliament lose seats at the rate this government is getting. Members of parliament lose their seats, gagging them, arrest them in the parliamentary precincts. Huh?
Let's pick up more calls. We have another caller here. Hello, good evening. Okay, we lost that call. You can still get to call us back. Let's pick up this one. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. How are you? Chachoma bwino mai mtumira kuti ndi mwandani zina. Ndi mwandani zina. Amai Mwanza kampani timbele.
Awo tifuna chabewa PF bagwirizane wa PF mavuto yamesiri nayo muno mcharo yapaka to chikuru chabe gwirizana ni pemperera mponi I confused.
Oh, are you still there? Amai Mwanza? I think we've lost her. Please, you can still get to call us back.
Mufunika mugwirizane icho chimzimo cho vutana cho pambana chisi. So kuvutika kwevetu vutika sitabina ngondisema wido tinasia bana tirenza so medi bana uko kuja bazire ntigera tu ufale chato bale ntigere nyugo bagulire na saka yaunga bana basala bakula mamimba chifuka chato olukuti ninkale nawo pafupi bazadi ya chani nzalipira chani nyomba bakamba ati CDF siyaona genda chekumbali kumozi sitabina ngosiyaona mebatenga ba CDF sibaona no baona makombo ni munkaenda mu meeting kala tabantu tivutika kudyaka mozi so mwabantu iyo ukwirizana ni mukagwirizana naise tabantu kapena tizakaona ko kunkala kwa bwino munga ine parwanga ni malira kunkala na bana banga ndatetwa umame bana fera nankala separate na bana bawo kubasakirira life kutiba zankala bwanji bati sinizwa mwamne bankalira kutiba kula bwanji bachita bwanji inkala nivutika chifukwa cyane kuti kwa yenzo kwa jamadezi tembe namba business ningena na bana banga tigonera pamozi tikira pamozi bati kwa ticha beni peze ni watumire ni walipirire renti ni bakulire ungano bakulire kwa kuisinikala nao sinizwa bamne vichita bana mairo bana wakankala majanki wanza kamba tamayo wa uswa batunga bwino just because ni vutika ni bafaitira kuti bankale bwino so kulizana ni kapena tikachinja ko government tinkalira ko bwino
Ziko mkwambili ya mai Mwanza, time ikira mwatitumira kwa phone. You can also do the same. You can call and feel free to express yourself in your local language, so that we can actually, maintain the One Zambia, One Nation motto it is. Honorable Monde, your remarks in relation to your response to that?
Vamene vakamba mai Mwanza. You can even see that our mai Mwanza. Tibaja callers very sponsored by UPND. Vamene mamvela bakabwera. Everything is okay. Our mai Mwanza, but she's a genuine Zambian. Wamene who is feeling the pain. Amai Mwanza na kuembekeza kuti kapena PF wamene achoka. Abazashita vamene vanama promising. Vanauza bantu unga uzangala 50 kwacha, light load shedding siza chokako, cost of living is ankara bwino. Koma manje as we are talking now, this is the worst government ever. Right now the cost of living is at its worst. Koma pamene zichitika zonse izi. Mukapita mu Lumumba road mja muchekinge. Kuina ma road manje amene sapita na Lusaka. Amene anyamula kopa kuchoka kuma Northwestern Province. Aenda straight to Western Province road. They're using Kaoma road. Copper is leaving. In government, they are claiming that Bagulisa over 120 billion kwacha worth of copper. Koma Antoine Zambia alikuvutika. So how does that correlate? They are boasting of high levels of production in terms of our minerals, but the people of Zambia are suffering. Mavuto aya amai Mwanza our sister waku Chibombo apa anga nkale bachite bwanji. Let's not allow them to continue. 5 years UPND kupitiriza mula mliro. But that letera mavuto. We must not allow that. You can see here we've had about four calls. All of them Zambians are complaining.
Okay, let's see if we can pick up more calls. We pick up this one. Hello, good evening. Hello, you're live on Millennium Tonight. Give us your name and your location.
Yes, my name is Carlos Mlenga.
Okay.
I'm calling within Lusaka.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yes. Honorable, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Mr. Mlenga.
Yes. Honorable, I think these people, this government, is too much, this government. Very much totally different. Okay, MPF, yes, MPF, but these people, the making tribe, you even go to CTF but when you go there, siwakuona people but mulina group inangu benangu amene mulinabo uzaje pati bambicho sandpoint batenda ma NRC yanangu. What kind of life yes? Which kind of CTF? Even your many CTF which they increase budget yabo. Isuzanga was a kind of perspective makaders. Ero manje popoiza makaders. Was up with 2026 in lose my elections. Because what increase my CTF, but poverty, the cost of living in Zambia. Because cost of living in Zambia is high. No job, no chance of our president. But how can you reach it? Look what the Maxi Manakamba, whatever Latsa Nakamba tribalism, Swana Mugui, but Upper Monde, Kamba, Bankara, Fingers Kumachan Kuma meet Ukwe, Chana Shani, Mobipiri and the fire. Now the Latsa. Why is Kalamore wonderful? What kind of life yes? So which means whenever we know Kamba my tribal max, but when I'm also Aguila, what kind of life yes? So it's not fair because the people of Zambia is in two realistic. Our 2026 whatever can be point Africa will end our 2026. And to Zambia, the opposition this already is a vote, not to UPND. No, also as a vote.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling. Now there's one question that he has brought me to, Mr. Mlenga, and I wanted you to give me an honest opinion. The remarks made by former SG Mombipiri, where she was suggesting that PF's presidency should be held by either someone from the eastern or the northern part. What is your comment on that?
Very well. For me, that statement, first of all, you know that I'm a candidate. I'm a candidate in the PF, and I come from the Western Province. Okay? I paid my application fees, and I'm a candidate. When such a statement comes, it's very sad. I want to say it's very sad, and that is not a position, first of all, of the party. But I will also tell you that it is the membership of the party that sometimes dent the name of the party. And for me, as an interested party, I also know that even if anyone is going to say what they're going to say, first of all, when our convention, the structure of our convention as a PF is such that we have all the members of the 10 provinces that are going to come and vote for a president. So it's not up to any one of us to say, I want a president who's going to come from the central part of Zambia or the eastern or the western or the northwestern or the southern. No, it's up to the delegates. And so the delegates are going to do justice. But I don't really want to talk much about this matter because I think for me, we've been guided in that the party has made a position, which is a very clear position. The Secretary General of our party made a statement in Chirungu and he says the PF is not a ground for tribalism. And
so what's the position of the party on this matter?
The position of the party on this matter is that the statement that Honorable Mubipiri made was an honest statement. And that he does not, we've actually disowned ourselves from that statement because the Secretary General of the party has guided. And the position is very clear. Because we as a PF believe that tribe will never sort out the problems of load shedding. And that tribe is not going to sort out the problems of not having water in our communities. Tribe will never sort out the problems of the worst cost of living like they were experiencing now. And so, anytime you see anyone bring a tribal remark, just know that that person is, first of all, defeated. If they have a candidate, then their candidate is defeated. And for me, that statement does not even bother me. And I can assure you that, given an opportunity, very soon, kuyanka my questions, I mean, all of these our leaders who've spoken from the first caller, as PF, apapumenti endela manje ba secretary general wanapasa instruction manje tizanka na convention tizasanka msogoleni. Once we have chosen our leader, everyone is going to rally behind that leader. Tizawina my elections are next, together working with the people.
How soon is very soon? Because time is running out.
So we've given ourselves, the Secretary General gave a statement at the press conference where he says, we will have our convention any time from now, but before the end of the year. So when is the end of the year? We only have about November and December and this part of October. So any time from now, we can have our convention. So we are putting together a few things. You know that a convention is expensive to put together. We are working out on logistics. How are we going to bring our members wherever the convention is going to be and so on. So this is the process. A date has already, or a period has already been selected. Tizasanka msogoletu alasalo intungrushi yesu. If you feel semleo mfuatino kulifia donsana no kulwa tafiripo. What is happening is that at any given time, you remember that now the confusion they're talking about is where some of our members went to a meeting which was not called for by the PF. So as a PF, for example, in any alliance, and particularly in this Council alliance, we've got leaders that are governing us. We've got documents that are governing us. So, for example, a meeting of the Council alliance will not be called by a spokesperson. So when a spokesperson calls a meeting, that meeting is not legal. And if our members are going to go there, we as a PF, we're going to go and tell them, this is not your meeting. And that's what happened.
Now, speaking of the Tonsi Alliance, yes. Mr. Monde, NCP has actually put out of Tonsi Alliance. Does that shake the alliance?
No, well, look, I saw that media statement. Whether it is true or not true, I've not again gotten to President Peter Chanda to find out. But if he has pulled out, I mean, there are other political parties that pulled out of the alliance. And you know, politics are dynamic. And at any given time, there is a part at which anyone who's not happy with an alliance will pull out. So if the NCP has pulled out of this alliance, good luck to them. But the call from Zambian people, as you can hear, is that Vombe ni chapamo. Amuberekere amo. Amubereganto mwi. Sevenzeran pamoz. Don't split. That is a call from the Zambian people. So if you see any political party pulling out of an alliance without a genuine cause, then maybe their strategy is going to help them to become more stronger or bigger. For us as a PF, we are sticking into the alliance, the Council alliance, and we are going to push, we'll discuss, and we'll agree. If the PF is ever going to move out of the Council alliance, then there should be a big problem that the Zambians will have already noted and said, with this, we can't go anywhere. You remember that there was an alliance called the UCA Alliance. And in that UCA Alliance, the PF tried all its best to ensure that they can stick in there. But it was difficult. And the PF literally was almost like hounded out. So PF backed out. So anyone moving out of an alliance, it's their will. But that will is against the will of the Zambian people who are suffering. This Amai Mwanza, you can even see when she's speaking. They are leaving their children. Vantu vasia vana vao kwenda kusemeza mapiswe as my maid. Aba niba widow aba. She's even saying mukaenda vana vantu vasala vanka na mamimba. And taking advantage of that, you can even see that the vice president of this country, a woman, a mother, can go to parliament and say, "Imita for it." How do you promote such devices because you fail to deliver services? This is what our mother is actually saying right now. So for me, it beats me. They have tried by all means to make sure that they can disrupt the people. They are creating fake defections. Vajena baranda kukitwoko. Kwalika meeting abantu kwa less than 500. Kwewe bechalo no kuno kwali 5,000 number defectors. Wufi. Government yaba wufi.
All right.
Everything is a lie.
Let's talk about the agriculture sector, specifically, FISIP. There are some farmers that, supplied maize to FRA. Up to now, most of them are complaining that they haven't been paid. And this is October. Today is the 60th of October. You being a former agriculture minister, what impact does that have on, the farmers' plight?
And I can tell you, you see, this government, not too long ago, just when the season was starting, they boasted that 2 weeks, bring your maize here, we'll pay you less than 2 weeks. And I was on a radio program, was it not here where I was? And I did mention that just give them time. These ones, when they tell you anything, just give them within a week. You saw, within a week, last week, Honorable Moto was saying, we're not bringing the constitution. Even the next thing, there is a committee. They have lived on a lie. This government is fake. There is nothing you can take from this government. Fake. In 2021, when they were selling that 500,000 metric tons of maize, they claimed that the PF did not pay the farmers. And so whatever they were doing was to, and I told them, I said, September, they were selling maize in September. They forgot that in the warehouses where PF left the maize, we had stock for the last 4 years. These ones, one season. And again, when you go to check, I saw the president saying in his speech that this is unprecedented. This season, 2024-2025 farming season, has never happened. Go and check your records. Okay? 2014, 2015, we hit this record as PF. But this will speak as though there's no other government which has done this. Now, you've seen that the last few days has been very cold. Rain's about to come. You've not paid the farmer. Very soon, it will be difficult to take your fertilizer to those villages because the streams are going to swam up. There will be water. There will be access will go. October, they've not paid. And the farmers are complaining. And this government called themselves we are the farmers. And they called PF Paya Farmer. Power Farmer was able to pay their farmers in time. Power Farmer, the same PF that they called Power Farmer, was able to deliver farming inputs in time. As we're talking right now, under PF, all the inputs, the fertilizers, everything would have arrived in the houses of a farmer. This government is a scam. All right. Zambian people, I call upon you, next year, you're voting for this government, you are voting for problems. Vajay and many others have said that they voted, many people voted for UPND, by the way. They have regretted heavily.
Let's pick up more calls, at least 2 calls before we end the program. We are running out of time. In case you'd love to be part of the program, you can call now. At least we can pick up 2 calls and we can wrap up the program. It is Millennium Tonight. That's what you are watching. And we have a few minutes before we end the program. So in case you want to be our last caller, feel free to come through and we'll give you a chance to actually wrap up the program on our behalf. Now, even as we are about to end the program, Honorable Monde, you are a presidential candidate under the PF. Do you feel that there is need for the PF to speed up the process of coming up with a presidential candidate, looking at how time is running out?
Very well. That I can be able to answer, and I will not be punished by my party. Because as a candidate, we'll be guided when we're supposed to start campaigning for ourselves. But the need for getting a presidential candidate or the leader of the PF is as urgent as the last 4 years. You know that the PF today, substantively, we've not had a president where you can say, this is substantively our president. When President Lungu lost the elections in 2021, quickly he went in the back seat and allowed Honorable Winda to continue running with the party until when the party was stolen from us, that he again came and said, can we work together to do this problem? It didn't take long. This government took him to court to get a ruling because they were scared of what has happened in Malawi. They saw that President Lungu was going to win this election, and you can attest. Just look at the callers that are calling. Everyone is talking PF come back, PF come back.
All right, let's pick up another call. The last one. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, thank you. Give us your name.
My name is Vincent Mutare, calling from within Lusaka.
Tale, please go ahead.
Thank you so much. Good evening, Honorable Monde.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Vincent.
Thank you, sir. First of all, I just want to congratulate you for being appointed as a PF National Mobilization Chairperson. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much.
You are equal to the task. Go out there, mobilize the party, mobilize the Zambian people. Tawubiri kutira ati nimumwe ntungurushi mu PF imwe ikataneni ombereni pamu. The Zambian people are looking up to you. The Zambian people are suffering. If you are delaying things. Ikataneni and do what is right for this country. People are suffering. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was our last caller there. As we're about to end the program, Honorable Monde,
Yes.
Why is it important for the PF to restore the trust that was lost the time you were voted out of power in 2021? And also, of course, one thing I want to find out from you, how are you going to do it? How are you going to restore the trust that was lost, by the people of Zambia?
First of all, there is no perfect government on earth. Even the first world countries, they have errors, they've got mistakes that they make. And this is why when you go, for example, to America, where many people would really want to go to, they change governments. And you've seen that the Democrats will come, the Republicans will come later, just like that, they keep changing. The purposes of changing governments, actually, for me, is democracy, and it's a good thing. Can you imagine that even if it's my party, the PF, perpetually lives in power, the results will be the impact on the people of Zambia or of that country. So for us as a PF, the confidence and the trust we want to ask the Zambian people to reinstall on us is the fact that we have been tried and we've been tested. So you go to sector by sector and check. Apart from the issues that came out, one of the reasons really that people talk about now, the cadarism. Apart from the cadarism, go and check. In the energy sector, by how much megawatts did we increase the potential of energy? What have we done in the renewable energy, for example? My solar, my windy, my hydropower station. We created that. In the education. So, vamene tinachita as a PF, ndiye vamene vinkala umboni that we are better a party to put back in power than the ones who are here. The other one thing that the Zambian people now know, amene vaziva vantu vamu Zambia nchakuti, vananami wa boza. Boza, unga uza chipa. School is ankara free. Tizapanga ma road. Tizapanga ma hospital. I pose a question to you, Zambians out there. Show me one clinic ya mene UPND inapanga kutoka mu clinic mwende nachitira ukanyama kutosa from a clinic to make it a level 1 hospital. The way we did in Chawama. One clinic that the UPND has transformed from a clinic to a level 1 hospital. None. Show me one hospital that the UPND have built. The way we built hospitals in this country almost everywhere. One hospital, UPND can't show. All they did was they came with a sweet talk. They were that boyfriend who comes to take a lady, atenga mwamkazi, na boza, nzamulira manyumba, nzaputa branji, uzankana magari moto, vintu vizankala bwino. Now the lady who's been taken akayangana enzo nkala bwino na bamuna wake wamanasiya. So we as a PF, we've been tested. Ma road tinapanga, ma school tinapanga, a lot of them. Miseo, what didn't we do? Murusaka ma flyover bridges, yameva lai kuseka. Ma airports, international airport, Kusaka International Airport, was the best airport in Africa in 2021. 2021 was voted the best airport in Africa. But this president says, this is sausage. What did he call it? He said sausage airport. How do you call sausage airport? If I were president, Akainde Hichilema, wanted to prove a point that this airport is rubbish, there are many towns in this country. Monde doesn't have an international airport. What is there? Just like a runway. Why didn't he say, in Kaunda Airport, because in Livingston there's another one, Harimanga Nkumbula. In Ndola there's one, Simon Kapwepwe. So he needed to say, if he wants to have a panga, because them they're saying everything is nothing, he should have come to Mongo, he should have gone to Chipata, he should have gone to Mansa, he should have gone to visit provincial capitals and build just one. In most every airport, I want really better than Harimanga Nkumbula, or which is better than Kenneth Kaunda International Airport, and tell them, why want any sausage in the airport? Never. But what has he done? Every day. You know that this is a president. He condemned flying out of the country. He says, now I'm a president. He has become Vasco da Gama. The man has beaten the record of anyone, all the presidents put together. We even lost the count. We started counting. Trip number 1, trip number 2, and I'm going to sign a book, South Africa. Trip number 3, trip number 4, no, don't worry. There are MOUs we are signing. MOUs that he brought. There was a time they said there will be $2 billion into the energy sector. That story has died. Using the same sausage airport, what type of a president is that? So there were too many lies. Mazambians believed that this man is truthful. This one is the Messiah. That's what they called him. He's the Moses of Zambia. They even used to say, driver, what did they call? There was a song, driver.
It's driver request.
A driver request. Where can he driver? This is driver. The days, when you know how to know that this is not a good driver, just the way he'll be engaging the gears. He tells us, you see my cabinet. You see my Minister of Finance. Boom, Honorable Msokotwan. The man who made the MMD lose with the late Rupia Banda, he brings him as the best Minister of Finance. Zambians were hoping to get a young, fresh blood, very good finance minister. See how the economy has been brought into shambles. Those are his selections. From that one, then he took 3 months. Musa kunanga 3 months before Garbo Sanka cabinet yake. 3 months. And people were like, this list will come out. Oh, you've seen the list. Look at the performance of his ministers.
Honorable Monde, we need to end the program. We can go on and on talking, but obviously due to time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So much for coming through.
I'm sad. I'm very sorry for my country. I don't like what is happening. And as you can see here, 6 scholars, none spoke support this government. That I can tell you is 100% outcome.
All right. There we end the program. Thank you so much, dear viewers and the callers. Thank you so much. We appreciate you coming through on the program. I've been talking to Honorable Greyford Monde, PF presidential aspiring candidate. My name is Ruben Mwanza. Join us again tomorrow night at the same time. Good evening.